Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT.
And a big thanks to Brandon Hyundai for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Santa Cruz has been Hyundai's all-new compact pickup since 2022. Since it's still a relatively new vehicle, we haven't seen many updates until this year for 2024, which features full LED projector headlamps on all trims, as well as haptic feedback for the new lane keep assist system for the steering. SCL trims and up now come standard with dual zone automatic climate control, and the activity package now includes a 10.25-inch touchscreen. Finally, the 2024 Santa Cruz gets this all-new, more rugged XRT trim, replacing the previous SCL Premium and sitting right below the top limited trim, which we've already reviewed on this channel. But here with the XRT, we get a base price just under 40,000 bucks. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So up front, we mentioned all new Santa Cruzes get the LED projector headlamps. That wouldn't really have been an issue for the XRT trim because it's sitting towards the top of the lineup, but I'm really liking this front end styling. We get the reflective front grille, unlike the lower trims which just get a flat silver grille, and this blue metallic paint color is absolutely beautiful. Definitely one of the best colors that you can get, at least the most popping color that you can get on the new Santa Cruz. We get an additional LED daytime running strip outside of your 4 projector beams on each side of the front bumper area. We get the same thing on the opposite side, and behind this reflective grille, we get a radiator on the left side and an intercooler on the right, because we get the turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, which makes a lot of power. Continuing along though, the wheel and tire setup is also a little bit different for this more rugged XRT trim. We get wider fender flares for the front and the rear, as well as a plate that says Santa Cruz for the door trim area, and these really aggressive running boards. But as far as this wheel and tire setup, we still get the 18-inch rims wrapped in Kumho Cruz HP71 all-season tires. Dimensions being 245/60 R18, so the 60 series sidewall should keep this ride quality really plush. The Santa Cruz really has some of the top ride quality in the segment. One of my biggest surprises when I first drove it back in 2022. Anyway though, I really like the rim design. They're black rims, and this XRT gets this orange cap outside of the Hyundai center cap. 5-lug pattern. This wheel well area, hopefully you can pick it up. You have a little logo of a Santa Cruz for the center part of this little fender flare. We mentioned the running boards, that's available for the XRT, and I believe it's an option on the Night Edition. We get a Santa Cruz nameplate on this door sill plate, black door handles, and smart access for the driver and a front passenger. Unlike the lower trims, they have a button. These are touch sensitive smart access. That's a nice premium touch. All black trim for the window trim, blacked out mirrors, LED turn signal on the mirror, blind spot monitoring on the glass. You take a quick look at the window sticker for this 2024 Santa Cruz XRT with all-wheel drive. Standard features, you guys can pause, take a look. It is a really loaded vehicle for a base price under 40,000 bucks. Options, $210 for the carpeted floor mats, 30 bucks for the first aid kit, $80 for the cargo net in the bed. With a $1335 destination charge, we're sitting at $41,505 bucks. With this more powerful turbocharged engine and all-wheel drive, expect about 22 combined MPGs, 19 in the city, 27 on the highway. We have black roof rails up top, sunroof, 2 shark fin style antenna. The XRT gets these bed rails too, which are more rugged compared to the activity package, which does get the cover standard. We mentioned the wider fender flare area, same rear wheel and tire setup. The XRT also gets a self-leveling rear suspension, also a super premium feature for a truck starting under 40,000 bucks. I like the steps for the bed area, making it easier, or for the bumper area, making it easier to access your bed. LED taillights, incandescent for the turn signals. We have an XRT badge underneath the Brandon Hyundai sticker, and I really like this XRT badge, how it's outlined in that silver trim. I also really like how the XRT gets the black Santa Cruz lettering, H-Track 2.5 turbo right above it, a reflective Hyundai grab handle for the tailgates, a little bit of a smoked chrome reflective design, also a little bit different compared to the lower trims. We get lights for the license plates right below, the reverse lights in both of the corners, hopefully you can pick it up on camera. No trailer hitch. The non-turbo Santa Cruz can tow, I believe, 3,500 pounds, and the turbo Santa Cruz, when equipped with a trailer hitch, can tow up to 5,000 pounds, so it'd be nice to see a trailer hitch standard, especially for the more rugged XRT trim. We can drop this tailgate right down. It takes a sweet old time getting down there. We can also pop open this retractable tonneau cover, which is a really impressive feature. Retractable tonneau covers are expensive. I just got one for my Ram 1500. I'll make a video on that shortly. They're expensive though, so it's really nice that Hyundai gave us a retractable cover here for the Santa Cruz. The coolest part about this Santa Cruz, in my opinion, is this little trunk thing. Similar to a Honda Ridgeline, you have some lockable storage right down below with hydraulic struts. If you somehow find a way to fit a human back here, it's not a lot of cargo space. I believe it's like 2, maybe 3 cubic feet of space. But if you find a way to fit a human back here, we do have an emergency latch so they can get out. I accidentally locked up the rope for the protective cover, but anyway, hopefully you can still pick up this bed. I believe it's a 4.5 foot bed, not the largest by any means, but if you want to fit kayaks back here, you can. We do have tie downs in the corners with adjustable bed rails as well. Of course, if you do end up putting some kayaks or something back here, it's going to have to be with the tailgate facing down or pop down, because otherwise you're just simply not going to have enough space. Regardless though, we do have some additional storage in here, and the cool part about the storage is we get an AC outlet back here as well. As you see, the red light means that it is working. We can shut this thing right up. It is a little bit cheap and flimsy compared to some of the competition, but it still works nevertheless. See, eventually you do end up figuring it out. We have the same thing on the opposite side. However, on the opposite side, we do not get an AC outlet, just some additional storage for the bed area. These lights also, they turn on every time you open up this little hatch area. Otherwise, you'd have to turn it on from the inside. But as you see, although it's a 4.5 foot bed, you don't buy a truck like this to haul heavy cargo. You simply buy this for the added practicality without necessarily the added price. Like, for instance, we have a really powerful motor here, all-wheel drive, solid space in the back seat, which we'll check out throughout this review, and a base price under 40,000 bucks. This is a lot of value for the money. We can shut this cover right up. Locks right up, and underneath, hopefully you can pick up this little yellow piece that locks your cargo. So when the tailgate's up, watch this. This no longer opens, and you can open it up and it slides right back. Awesome. But anyway, shutting it right down, we can take a step back, get a good look at the exhaust tip. Just like the regular non-turbo Santa Cruz, we still have the single outlet exhaust tip. But speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder sold by Hyundai for the 2024 Santa Cruz XRT, and it sounds really good for what it is, cranking out a ton of power at 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque. Made it to this all-wheel drive system. You can expect this 3,700 to 3,800 pound compact truck to 60 in about 6 seconds. I think Car and Driver tested this truck at 5.9 seconds 0 to 60, so a really impressive performance for a sub $40,000 base price. If you want an even cheaper version of the turbo Santa Cruz, you can go with the Night Edition, which I believe starts around $37,000, but for this XRT at around $39,000, $39,500, you get a lot more rugged, looking at least, options and features. One thing I didn't mention on the exterior for you guys is we get a push to open gas cap. We don't get easy fill, and I recommend putting premium fuel here for this turbocharged 2.5 liter. I believe Hyundai says you can throw 87 octane in here, but throughout history, turbocharged, especially 4-cylinders, have just performed a lot better with premium fuel. Speaking of premium though, let's check out this interior and see what we get for a sub $40,000 base price. So up top we have hard plastic material, same thing with the center portion, but we have this premium looking aluminum and gloss black trim up top. We have a gushy soft padded armrest, 2-window auto one touch up front, power windows out rear, 4-way adjustable mirrors, aluminum door handle, and a lot of storage. You'll fit, probably stack 2 footlongs on top of each other. We get 2 speakers on the door panel. It's not the Bose like you get on the Limited, but it's still a really good sounding system for a bass sound system. The seats, we get these H-Tex, Syntex, whatever you like to call them, faux leather seats. They're really comfortable. They look super premium. They're perforated, heated, not ventilated. Got to go for the Limited if you want the ventilated seats. You get 2-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. But as you guys can see, this is very similar to both the Night Edition and the Limited we've already reviewed in this channel. Unlike the Night Edition, this vehicle has the leather seats, and unlike the Limited, these leather seats are not heated or ventilated, and we don't have the Bose system. But other than that, this vehicle is very similar. We still have the 10.25-inch touchscreen, 10.25-inch digital gauge display, leather wrapped steering wheel. It is super thick, very impressive 10-2 bolstering notch. 9-3 fits perfect in your hand. We get a 6 o'clock spoke and 2 spokes, which make driving with your arm on the armrests really comfortable. The Hyundai horn area is rubberized with good texture. The horn itself, Loud and aggressive, people should be definitely getting out of your way. The turbos also all get aluminum paddle shifters, voice commands, AM, FM, and Sirius, volume and skip controls. You can hang up and answer your phone calls, and favorites. On the right side, these are the adjustments for the infotainment. Right now we're looking at advanced safety features, drive info, sensory fueling, accumulated info with the digital speedo, turn-by-turn and compass, and our power distribution information and tire pressure, which you got to be driving for to see the display. My personal favorite though would either be this attention level or this advanced safety screen, so we'll leave it there. 160 mile an hour speedometer, the tach goes to 6,500 RPM, and that's about it. The stocks have a very satisfying click. Unlike the Limited, we do not get the blind spot mirrors or the 360, two pretty big reasons on why you may want to actually option up to the Limited. We still get auto headlamps, auto high beams, no auto rain sensing wipers, but the intermittent stock right here in the center. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, interior brightness, our truck bed lights right here with the click of a button. You can turn off the traction control, fuse box, hood latch release, and hopefully get a good look at the pedal. The turbos also get a floor mounted accelerator pedal. Although the door panel up top is hard plastic, we do get a padded dashboard. I kind of wish we flip-flopped those around and gave us padding for the top part of the door panel and a hard plastic dashboard if we were going to be doing any type of cost-cutting measures, but really not a big deal. The touchscreen is surrounded with some gloss black, so keep your cleaning supplies at hand. One thing I don't really like about this 10.25-inch touchscreen, I mean, I like the touchscreen itself, of course, but the 8 or 9-inch touchscreen you get on the standard models, or at least for the previous generations, had hard buttons for the volume, hard buttons for all the adjustments, and hard buttons for the climate. Here, everything is adjusted with touch sensors, which I'm sure you're going to get used to as you go along with your driving process with the Santa Cruz, but initially, it is going to be something you need to get used to. We get dual zone automatic climate control, diffuser 2, 2 USB-A ports, and a 12-volt in the center. More storage, we have a wireless charging pad that's available on the SCL Activity and up. The gear selector controls the 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission. So throughout Hyundai's lineup, such as like the Kona N-Line, Elantra N-Line, most of the N-Lines that were using a DCT in the past are, oh, we got some acorns landing on the truck. Interesting, I'm gonna park somewhere else. But unlike the DCTs that we've had in the past through vehicles through the N-Line trim levels, this still has a DCT. The N-Lines have gotten rid of their DCTs and instead switched to a conventional 8-speed automatic, but this Santa Cruz XRT, well, all turbocharged Santa Cruzes, still using a dual clutch 8-speed transmission. The backup camera has really high resolution. We don't get a 360 like we do with the Limited, guidance lines and trajectory, and very good steering weight here too. We'll check that out more once we take it out for a drive. Different camera angles too. We have an over the top that's nice for the city if you're trying to maximize the space in front of the car behind you, and right back to where we started. You also get a little screen to the right. Since we don't have a 360 camera, that was the map. Here we have the song, weather, calendar, compass with 3 screens. Here's the latitude, longitude, and elevation. You can also see compass 2 and compass 3. Cool. Finally, we have a clock, and right back to where we started. My personal favorite to look at all times would probably just be the clock. While I'm looking at the backup screen and throwing right back into park, return right back to where we started. And speaking of the touchscreen, here we have the map, nav menu, phone. You guys can pause, take a look at everything that's available here. We'll check out the map, hide this side screen away, and here we have pretty good response. It's not quite as responsive as an iPhone, but it's almost right up there. Definitely not something to complain about, and the resolution is very impressive. Not quite as responsive as the 2024 Kona we reviewed in this channel, but competitive throughout the rest of Hyundai and Kia's lineup. My personal favorite screen to look at all times would be the map, so we'll leave it there. We mentioned everything around this area. Behind the gear selector, we have our drive mode selector. Drive modes include normal, sport. Sport changes up the gauges quite a bit. Smart brings them right back, and so does snow. We'll start off in normal, transition to sport, and just see what the differences are. Also, we have our 4-wheel drive axle lock, hill descent control. You can access your camera at all times, and our electronic parking brake with auto brake hold. We get heated seats, no ventilated seats, and no heated steering wheel here on this XRT. It would be nice to see a heated steering wheel, or at least an option for ventilated seats, but you got to go up to the Limited to get both. The cup holders, you'll fit 24-ounce bottles in there with no problem. That's about it. Probably nothing any bigger than 24s. The armrest is pretty soft, not the softest, but still a pretty nice area to rest your arm. The center console space, very impressive. You're fitting 8 12-ounce cans, maybe even 16-ounce cans. Very solid amount of space for a compact pickup. Glove box, damped, not lined with felt, but pretty large. You'll fit 20 license plates in there. You'll fit a pair of shoes, no problem. Maybe 2 pairs of shoes if you have smaller feet. The rear view mirror is essentially frameless and auto dimming. The interior lights are LED. Awesome, and we get standard sunroof. It opens up pretty quickly. We'll see if it opens up any further than that. It does not. We'll poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Brandon, Florida, sunny and 80 degrees according to this 2024 Santa Cruz. We'll shut this glass right up, leave the shade open so when we hop out back you can see how much light is brought into the cabin. And that's about it for the front seat of this 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT. It is a really nice pickup. I wouldn't necessarily call it a pickup truck, but it's definitely a pickup. It has a pickup truck bed and a really large, spacious, and comfortable interior. Speaking of large, spacious, and comfortable interior, let's see what we got going on in this back seat. So, of course, just like up front, we have a hard plastic door panel. It's even hard plastic for the armrest, power window, and no additional storage down below. Just a cup holder over here with a little bit of storage underneath the grab handle. The rear seats, however, are leatherette trim, H-Tex, whatever you like to call them, perforated in the center. Not a lot of bolstering, but they're premium looking, premium feeling, and you can lift up these seats. It's not very easy to do with one hand, but we figured it out, and underneath the seats we have some additional storage, carpeted floor mats, which is a little bit of a head scratcher to me. I believe my girlfriend's Santa Cruz activity package is an SCL activity package, and it came standard with all weather floor mats, which I would also expect to see from the more rugged XRT. Anyway though, we can just drop these seats. You gotta pull the latch to do so. Again, not the easiest process with one hand, but we figured it out. Legroom, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and no, it's not a full-size truck, so I don't have the most knee room, but I have enough. I have about 2-3 inches of knee room, about an inch, maybe actually 2-3 inches, because we have a nice cutout for my head for headroom. So if you're under 6'5", 6'6", you'll sit in the back of the Santa Cruz, which is a compact pickup truck. That's impressive, guys, for a compact truck. You rewind about 15-20 years back when like the Ford Ranger, Toyota Tacoma, those were compacts. They did not have a back seat anywhere close to as spacious as this. But a couple complaints that I have back here: no air vents that blow directly into your face. You do have something going on underneath the seat, but for the $40,000 price point, it would be nice to see air vents in the center console or in the roof area. We get a hook outside the grab handle on the passenger side, nothing on the driver's side. Mat pockets behind both of the front seats. Another small complaint that I have is, although we do have a 5th window back here, which is a nice feature, it's basically useless unless you always carry around rear passengers, because there's no button up front to control it. You gotta press this button, push it open yourself, which is just about impossible to do from the driver's seat, especially when you're moving. Even when you're parked, I don't think a lot of people will reach that very easily. So basically a useless feature. It would be really nice if Hyundai added a power function for this 5th window. The interior light back here is LED. Awesome. So for the most part, this is a spacious, compact truck. If you're not looking at a Santa Cruz simply because you need good backseat space, that is definitely not a reason to not buy one. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT. It looks really cool. It was already a really cool looking compact pickup. Now you add features like the bed rails, the running boards, the black trim, the wider fender flares, still keeping that turbocharged engine, the black accents. It's a really good looking compact pickup truck. This blue stone metallic paint color only adds to the aggressive styling. The reflective smoked chrome front end trim also makes this look a lot more aggressive of a compact pickup. It definitely looks the part. Performance-wise, let's take this 2024 Santa Cruz XRT out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. So, my first impressions, although it's a dual clutch transmission and a turbo, it has pretty good throttle response compared to vehicles that have, say, the 1.6 turbo in Hyundai's lineup. If you guys have had the chance to drive those, this feels a lot more responsive off the line. Yes, you still feel a little bit of an engagement, but it's not as drastic as some other DCTs that I've felt, at least recently. Over the big speed bump, when you slow down, boom. Ride quality is just about excellent. As with most of Hyundai's lineup, you still hear the bumps a little bit, but as far as feeling them, this might be the best ride quality vehicle that Hyundai has in their lineup. You really don't feel a whole lot, especially with this new self-leveling rear suspension. You really don't feel just about anything. Taking a step out here, we can lean into it a little bit. Check out this power. Whew. Wow. This thing is quick. And I mean quick. We just reviewed the Kona N-Line on this channel with a turbocharged 1.6 liter. And that's a way lighter vehicle. We're talking like 500-600 pounds lighter. And this feels noticeably quicker. About quarter throttle is just ripping. This is normal mode. We'll throw it into sport, see what changes up. See if it feels even quicker. I would imagine it would feel a little bit quicker. And I'll catch back with you. All right, guys, sport mode, no brake torque on the gas. Woo! Oh, God, this thing is quick. I wouldn't be surprised if they underrated the actual power output of this 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder. It feels really, really strong. We'll get in front of these guys, try out about a 1/3 throttle pull. Like, this is so ridiculously strong. Like, the difference between the turbo and the non-turbo, at least in terms of performance, is really not comparable. The non-turbo, you'll do 0 to 60 around 8.5 seconds. We're talking 2.5 seconds quicker, if not even more of a difference than that. Through the turns, we'll see what we got. We'll try out these paddles, second gear. Steering feels really good. This is the best steering of any pickup in the business. Handling too. I'm willing to say this is the best handling in the business too. Body roll, just about non-existent. We have a higher rollover warning here, but knock on dashboard, I really don't see how you're gonna flip this thing over unless, God forbid, there's some type of accident. But as far as like daily driving, hard twisties, aggressive turns, fast maneuvers to avoid objects, this thing has some of the best handling that I've ever felt in any pickup. It has some of the best handling I've ever felt in any SUV, not even including pickups off the line. It is impressive. But as far as like isolation from the road, sport mode's probably not the best way to demonstrate that. In normal mode, it's quiet. Wind noise is super limited, road noise is limited, but you do hear the bumps a little bit. That may have something to do with the Kumho tires. Hyundai puts Kumho tires on a lot of their vehicles, and in general, Kumho tires are a little bit more inexpensive and economy oriented compared to, say, Michelin, Goodyear, more of the top, more premium tire companies. Because of that, you are going to hear a little bit more noise to the tires. If that's a problem, once these tires wear out, you can replace them with something completely different, maybe something all-terrain, more aggressive. This could be a pretty good off-road vehicle. You have the ground clearance, about 8.5 inches of ground clearance, and a lot of power. We're talking about 300 horsepower, over 300 pound-feet of torque, and it feels like it. We'll open her up a little bit more on this multiple lane highway. We're not in sport mode anymore, just normal mode. As soon as you get the chance, I'll catch right back with you. All right, guys, normal mode, we can open her up a little bit more on the gas. Whoa. We catch up to traffic really quickly. Hopefully you can pick up the performance on camera. The brakes still feel good. You hold the revs for a little bit after a hard acceleration, which is nice for performance driving. And in normal mode, it does idle you down after about a second or two of not being heavily aggressive on the gas. But driving along at around highway speeds, the wind noise is really limited. You don't have dual pane windows here in the Santa Cruz, but you don't really need them. It's still a really quiet truck. It's not overly large. The mirrors aren't super long. So the overall wind noise isn't as drastic as, say, a full-size or even a mid-size pickup. The ride quality feels like something you get from a luxury SUV. You don't feel any bounce at all from the rear axle, especially not with this self-leveling rear suspension. Just great ride quality, great isolation, and the luxury and tech is there too, as well as super aggressive, super strong performance. If that's what you're looking for, guys, you're looking for good performance, 6-second or quicker 0 to 60, touchscreens, digital gauge displays, leather seats, leatherette seats, good sound system, aggressive styling, running boards, bed rails, bed liner, cargo cover, retractable cargo cover, LED lighting, beautiful blue stone paint color. This truck has it all, and a base price under 40,000 bucks. I would definitely recommend checking it out. As far as XRT trim, between that or the Limited, if you're looking for more gushy luxury features, heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, Bose sound system, definitely go for the Limited. If you want the rugged looks, running boards, bed rails, overall more aggressive styling, and a lower base price, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz XRT. And a big thanks to Jonathan at Brandon Hyundai in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave links to their inventory below. And if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Jonathan. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe.
Leave a like too, it really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.